G'day folks, Glenn Twiddle here again. I'm here today to speak with Zach McHardy. If you haven't heard his name, then you're not on Facebook. Zach is one of the co-founders of the real estate community, and I wanted to have a quick chat today with Zach about a couple of things. Primarily where he's come from, where he's gotten to, his celebrated career, the ups and downs of all that. Just a quick insight, because Zach is also one of the speakers at the free day that I'm putting on for everyone with some of my clients and students, former students and stuff. And very recently, Zach spoke on an international stage with international speaker Larry Wingett and a host of others at the Arrel event. And there was Zach on stage saying about, and I was quite proud sitting in the audience because Zach was sharing some of the things that I taught him some years ago about running killer open homes. So we'll get into that in a moment. But so Zach, where were you at 2 years ago when we first met, or three, or however?
Close to now.
Yeah, three or four maybe.
Yep.
So where were you at that time? How far into your career were you when we hung out for those? For that
well, starting off is started off with Dad. Basically, we were working at another company down the road. I was his PA for a little while, so I had a little bit of experience in seeing all that there. And I think I've told you this before. He was very good at what he did, and it was more people would call him all the time, and you know. And when we first started here, opened up our own business, basically he goes, "You're your own agent now." And at that first 6 months, I kind of thought, "Oh, people are going to call me," and things like that. So I was doing okay, but it wasn't until, you know, we met and I was other trainers and stuff like that. And after that 6 months, it really growed. So yeah, so like I was probably average agent back then, and now it's obviously changed as we know.
I remember when I first met you, because Zach spent 2 days with us, full on doing a lot of this stuff, and Zach's comments flagged to me, even though he was relatively new as his own listing and selling agent. I could see that he was already doing many of the things that he ended up perfecting over the subsequent years and getting to be the number one agent in his area. And now, number one agent in the brand, because I know the boys stick it to you that you slip back to, heaven forbid, number two.
Number two in Queensland.
You see all the trophies weighing him down right now, you know.
Yeah, no, number two in Queensland at the moment, and number 7 in Australia at the moment.
Excellent.
So that was the big dream, is topping that top 10. That's a very big achievement in any brand.
Yeah.
And yeah, to do that, this was my 4th year or 3.5 year by the time I did that. So I'm pretty pumped. So next year I'll go to number 5. I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for.
For the country.
For the country.
In your brand, the Rain and Horn brand, I know that was the brand Matt Steinway cut his teeth in. So down in Sydney, that brand is, you know, right up there, you know, with those guys. So for you to make top 10 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the state, and again, the boy, I love it how the boys, they stick it to him when he got number 2. But let's talk about what Zach's gonna go through at the training day that we're going to do, mate. What's sort of your topic? We've got a bit of time where, you know, because the secret shop that I did, understand that it was done in Zach's neck of the woods. So remember those ones I was talking to you about how no one followed up, no one did anything. It was this area that Zach is in. So, Zach, tell us about what we're going to cover off on, about your history, what you do with open homes, that sort of thing.
So, basically, a lot of the stuff I obviously learnt with Glenn and stuff like that. So, it's, you know, you may have heard some of it, but we've kind of tweaked it a fair bit as well. So, basically, it'll be how I prospect to get 80% of my listings through open homes. That's my main focus in listings these days, is finding them through the open homes. I don't do open homes to sell properties, because I think property, if you've got it right, it will sell anyway. I run open homes to find more sellers. That's it. So I'll show you basically how I get neighbours in the area, and I'll give you some case studies of you know what I used to do before I did this, and also what we do now, and the numbers and stuff like that. So the average numbers for our buyers is probably, you know, 4 or 5 times higher than what another agent will get through, because of the systems we have in place there. Basically, how to run your open homes, you know, what to have in there, what you do after your open homes as well, and yeah, basically how to follow up in the next couple of days after that, and also how to chase current listings. Here, no one heard that. How to get listings that are already on the market over 6 expired ones, and get them to your open homes as well.
Beautiful.
So, and to show you to show the difference between what you do and what their agent's doing.
That's it. And what I love is Zach lets his actions, not his words, do the talking for him. You know, because when you get other agents' listings to come and see a brilliant open for inspection, and they also see one that's, let's say, Zach's competitors that might be less than brilliant, you let your, you know, it's not your lip service, but it's your action steps that they can judge you by what you do, not by what you say.
That's it. Yeah, I think it's at that stage where the business now is, I'm getting a phone call. Like, it was 3 weeks ago, I got a phone call from a gentleman who came through a property. We had 69 people through our open home on the Saturday. We had 11 offers on that property at the end of the day, and it was crazy. Thank God it was my sister's house too. It would have killed me if I didn't do a very good job. But I've now got 3 listings from that, from people just saying, I want you to sell my property. There was no, look, come out, do an appraisal. It's, Zach, can you come over and we'll get it done.
Bring out some paperwork, Zach.
And all 3 of those properties are now sold since that, and they've all sold very well. Similar kind of results. Rainy day, there was 11 groups through, and we had 3 offers on it in 72 hours.
Beautiful.
And that's the thing, the systems I'll be talking about there.
Love it, love it. So guys, Zach McHardy, do connect with him on Facebook, the real estate community. Don't judge him by the Saturday night posts. What's that? It sounds, the word proud sounds condescending, and I can't think of a better word though, but it's been an honour to have seen Zach grow and succeed throughout these last, however long it's been, 3 or 4 years. And I couldn't have been prouder when Zach was up on stage in front of the cream of the crop of real estate agents that came along to hear him speak. And he was up there talking about the success that really some of it was formed all those years back when we were talking about doing brutally good open for inspections that really you do. You do what says on the cover of that CD thing. You embarrass your competition by doing these open homes so well compared to them.
They're slowly catching up. They're slowly catching up, but they're not there yet.
Yeah,
so
and that's our job, mate, is to stay one step ahead.
We've still got some tricks up our sleeves for it. So
very good. So make sure you come along, hang out with Zach. Hopefully you're not going to run off too early on that day, mate. You can stick around for a quick networking drinks afterwards, guys. You can come up, shake the man's hand, and buy him a beer, and I'm sure he'll unleash some cool stuff for you guys. So we'll see you at that event, mate. Cool. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you then.
Yeah.
G'day folks, I'm here with the great Andrew Reibelt, who's one of our guests at the upcoming Customer Appreciation Free Day, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So mate, Andrew is a bit of a dark horse in that he doesn't sort of toot his own trumpet. I do that for him because he's a quite reserved guy, but behind the scenes he's friggin' disciplined like a maniac, #1 agent, 7-figure earner out here at Redcliffe. So mate, what are you going to go through with us at in the amount of time we've got with you at that day that you've kindly said you'll come and hang out with us. So what are we going to go through?
Well, mate, I think the first thing we might have a chat about is just a little bit about balance, because you've got me coming back from our family holiday with the kids, and I had to make sure that was okay with the wife. And we'll also just cover some prospecting ideas that we've been working with over the last few years, and also the automation that we use that just makes the business roll in.
Beautiful. And so you've managed to do that, haven't you? Because we've sort of drawn comparisons between yourself and the guy that many of my guys know, young Chris. You've seen that you kind of were a lot more like him back in your early career, 7-figure earner, bit of a maniac, and you've truly managed to find a way that this business truly can have both family, balance, and still be killerly successful, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's something that in the early years when you've got no children, and you've got an early partnership, that you can go like a maniac and work, those 12, 13-hour days. But when the kids come along, you've got to still make sure the income is flying along, and also making sure that you can see them grow up and be part of their lives.
Beautiful. All right, folks. So again, one of the other speakers we've got. I'm proud and honoured to have Andrew come in and join us. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, again, there's only there's 120 of them, and when they're gone, they're gone. So you get to hang out with this great man and a bunch of my other guys for the day, and it doesn't cost you anything. So for the cost of lunch, come and hang out with us. We'll see you then.
Cool.
Thanks, mate.